Hello and welcome to Beauty Bears All. On this episode and this podcast, you're gonna hear about some stuff that just sounds like it's out of a sci fi movie. So please bear with me, get your favorite drink and your popcorn, and come on down. I was gonna say for the prices to the prices right, but some of you are young and have no idea what I'm talking about, and some of you may definitely know what that is. But no, just get ready to dive in this evening. On this episode, we're gonna dive in. This here is Steve Quayle. For those listening in, it's Quayle. Those that are watching online may not be able to see this too well, but there it is. I'm zooming it in. This episode is called AI Exposes Fallen Angels. But the reason this specific gentleman came up, I will tell you now. The reason I'm sharing this episode, it has more to do with the gentleman that is sharing and also the radio station Coast to Coast AM. So from an early age, I would listen with my mom to this show, and on this show they'd have different guests. And these guests, the show had guests that were abducted by aliens, people who have seen things that just are absurd, and even people that are whistleblowers and discuss what happens in underground bases. So yes, if you're interested in any of this stuff or all of this stuff, please stay tuned. This episode is going to be different probably than what you expected, because originally this podcast was going to be about beauty professionals and such, but you know what, there's so much more to me and to the things going on in this world that I could not resist sharing this information with you all, because I think it's relevant to what's going on in the world today. And I figured, why not share some information with you all so that you can use discernment and use your own judgment to figure out what's going on in this reality, in this world, in this dome, in this flat earth, whatever it is you think we're on. But if that pushed you away, that's fine. I only want the people that genuinely are interested in this information to stay, because this information may resonate with you. So stay tuned. So who is Steve Quayle? Steve Quayle is a Christian, a man that believes in the creator of the Bible. And why is he relevant to today's podcast episode? I literally just posted a few days ago onto my personal not my personal podcast, I'm sorry guys, to my personal TikTok page. I shared a little bit of a deep dive on what it was like going to conferences growing up as a youth in a Christian church, and how all these aliens, demons, fallen angel, technology, how all these different things came up for me in the church that I grew up in. I grew up in a church that had locations everywhere. So basically a franchise of a church, but it was a mega church nonetheless. And our pastor, Lloyd Pulley, very humble, very sweet guy, so I don't knock him. The founder of California's location, there's a lot of skeletons in the closet, and God may rest his soul. I don't want to talk anything negative about the deceased, but definitely some scandals and some things that happened there, but that's not going to take us away from all the good and all the positive things that I got out of going to this church growing up. So Steve Quayle dives in, and the first time I ever get to hear about him, he dives in to the story of Genesis and what these beings are in the book of Genesis. And not only that, there are more than just Steve Quayle. There are people like Chuck Missler. He is someone that I mentioned on my TikTok post from the other day. And on this TikTok post, I go into saying how these conferences with these very uneducated men. They were mostly atheists or agnostics. They weren't sure necessarily, but then they started to read and dive into so many different things that they had an encounter with Christ. And for that reason, they're very valuable to this information that I'm going to share. Whether you believe in Jesus Christ or not, that is not a requirement to listening to this episode. It's just for you to understand where these men have been and what led them here. Now, there's been a lot of information going around about, I'm not sure how many of you understand or know about CERN. And so CERN, people have mixed reviews. Some people say that CERN is working on finding dark matter and particles and such. And then you have the conspiracy theorists, which is such a derogatory word that dismisses people that are actually not conform to the things of this world and the things that we're told and taught just to keep us in line and in check. Those are people who think, and they're independent thinkers. And so whatever, let's move forward. A lot of people believe that CERN is opening up portals and that they have interacted with interdimensional beings. And why is that important, right? We have all, myself included, have been using technology to help us, such as ChatGPT. And so a lot of videos have come up on the web stating that some people believe that this is technology from fallen angels. So now, these gentlemen that I'm sharing about are discussing at some of these conferences from when I was a child that UFOs would come and try to abduct people. And UFO, for those of you that aren't aware, but most should be, now they call them UAPs, but UFOs are unidentified flying objects. So we don't know exactly what they are. But these flying objects used to take people in the middle of the night. Now, whistleblowers have shared that these people that were abducted because they made contracts with our government giving permission to abduct people, test these people, and not only test them, use them for hybrid procreation programs or making hybrids and human babies. Now, there are people that have witnessed that they have been abducted and that they have seen these children of theirs that are half them and half something else. And some people, if you listen to Bashar on TikTok, he's a guy who channels, very interesting. He states that the children that are hybrids are not 50-50. A lot of times they're mixed with other humanoids to get the right makeup of these alien children. Now, if you're still with me, hold on to your seats because there's more. But wait, there's more, because there's nothing new under the sun. So in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, so now Genesis is said to be connected to our genome, the mixing, the splicing and dicing. And some people don't believe that even the book of Genesis was the true creator that was in there in the garden, so to speak, mixing and making Adam and Eve, that there were Anunnaki or gods that came from above, that fell or came to this earth to mix and to make new beings from beings that were already here. So stay with me, this gets even deeper.